Let's do a brief demo. We'll log into the secure platform, look at what we can do in terms of launching tests, monitoring tests, and analyzing the results. First thing we see is an executive level dashboard. All right, here we're looking at a pie chart of the critical, high, medium, and low vulnerabilities. Here we can see a laundry list of all the tests that have been executed. So for instance, in the middle, we see we have 2 critical, 5 high, 7 medium, and 0 informational vulnerabilities. We can also look at the information either through the portal or receive a secure PDF email. When one does quarterly or even monthly testing, getting a trend analysis is important. So here we see 7 tests that were executed, and at each stage, how many vulnerabilities there were. We have here a high-level overview of the top vulnerabilities of their applications. In this next section, I can launch a new scan. It's very easy. I can type in the URL, the highest level one that I want to test from. Next step is the ability to schedule the test. Again, it's very easy to put in a scan window. Maybe you want to be testing off business hours, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Below we see a number of advanced options. For a very large site that's having repeated testing, they may wish to put in a link limit or a depth limit. Another very important thing is to do credential-based testing, coming in as a named user and accessing the system to test it. From here, let's look at the reports. One of the key things is to actually go into depth to understand what the developers are going to see when they get a report back on the vulnerabilities. Now let's dive into a report. Here on the left-hand side, we see threats by severity, critical, high, medium, and low vulnerabilities. On the right, this Pac-Man shaped graph is actually vulnerabilities by ownership. So it separates actually between those vulnerabilities that are server administrator issues from those that are developer issues. Here we see kind of your classic pen testing graph. It's a list of all the threats that were executed, their severity, and their quantity. Here we see a 360-degree view. We'll look at all the targets that were tested and all the vulnerabilities, critical, high, medium, and informational. From there we can dive into one specific vulnerability to get the deepest level of understanding. At the most granular level, we see that this is a critical vulnerability, cross-site scripting vulnerability. It was easy to exploit. We provide a description of it, the impact to the organization, we recommend remediation, and we also link that information to third-party information, either OWASP or WASC, on best testing practices, best development practices, and how to remediate. Here we see the proof of exploit, step-by-step screen capture replicating the vulnerability, making it much easier for a developer to replicate it and therefore remediate. You notice that it is an annotated information as well on the replication of the vulnerability. In summary, there are 3 things to take away. iViZ is a pioneer in cloud-based web application penetration testing. We provide consultant-grade quality with an on-demand experience, and we typically afford a company between 25% and 50% cost savings over alternate solutions.